Eastern Michigan football, a program that's been around since 1891, a program that has an all-time record of 495 to 630 and 47 ties, a bowl record of 2-6, a team with 10 conference titles, the last one being 1987. This here is the Eastern Michigan career mode, and today is the first day in changing history. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 0 of the Eastern Michigan career mode. That's right, I said episode 0. The reason why is we're talking about preseason. We're going to look at the schedule, we're going to look at the roster, potentially look at the depth chart, but we'll get there, and we're going to look at recruiting. Let's dive in. So as far as the schedule goes, I didn't want to change anything compared to what's happening in real life. So in season 1, this is the schedule that's going on in real life. Once we get to season 2 and beyond, I will be looking to bring in Michigan and Michigan State. However, for season 1, I wanted to keep it the exact same. So what does it look like? We start off going to Sunbelt team Texas State on week 1. Week 2, we have an FCS team coming to us. Week 3, we go to Kentucky, and week 4, Louisiana comes to us. Now, to be completely honest with everyone, I would be okay with going 2-2 in the 4 games that we start off with. Okay, if you look at the records, I mean, every team has a better record besides Kentucky, but still, they're in the SEC and FCS East just because we can't look at their record. Texas State went 8-5 last year. Louisiana went 10-4. It's going to be a very, very, very tough opening schedule. However, if we can at least go 2-2 and maybe even sneak an extra winner there, I think it sets us up perfectly for the conference games. Talking about conference games, let's look at it. So, we start off with in-state rival Central Michigan. I think this is huge. This is a big game for us in week 5. It's going to set up the rest of the season for us, and if we can secure a win against Central Michigan, I think we'll be golden because guess what? We have a very tough 4-game stretch after that. At Buffalo, went 9-4 last year. Northern Illinois comes to us, 8-5. At Miami of Ohio, 9-5. And versus Ohio, 11-3. I'm pretty sure when I looked up in real life, I think all 4 of these teams finished 1-4 in the MAC. We're going to have a huge task in front of us for between week 5 and 9. Again, we went 5-7 last year, okay? The only team that has a worse record than we did out of those first 5 games is Central Michigan, but it's an in-state rivalry. So do you know how it goes? Records don't mean anything. It's going to be our best versus their best. And again, if we can win against Central Michigan, I think the boys can start believing and we can have, I'm not going to say an easier time, but a simpler, maybe easier time at securing a couple extra dubs against the next 4 teams. Okay? Week 10, we have a bye. Week 11, we go up against Bowling Green, 7-6. And to be completely honest with you, the last 3 games of the schedule look like nothing compared to the first 6 conference games. Bowling Green comes to us. Then we go to Ball State, who went 3-9 last year. And then we end it at home against Western Michigan, which I'm extremely excited about because it's going to set up a huge senior day. And hopefully it sets up a huge recruiting weekend. And if you kind of look at it, I kind of like it. We start off going against Central Michigan, and then we end against Western Michigan. Potentially could win a trophy by week 14. And if we're lucky and we stick to what makes us better, and we stick to who we are, we might potentially be able to play for a MAC championship. Now, you're probably wondering, who's on the team? Well, let's go look at it. Here's the thing, guys. To be completely honest with you, we are old at every position. I mean, let's go ahead and start it. Quarterback, Noah Kim, senior. Running back, senior. Fullback, freshman. Woohoo, we're good at fullback for the next 4 years. Wide receiver, 1 through, 5 is all seniors. And here's the thing, Kendall Clark, his deal breaker is pro potential. He might be gone. And Dalen Wilkins, his deal breaker is pro potential too. We could potentially be looking at a brand new wide receiver core come year 2. Tight end, another senior in Nick Harris. And then we get to the line. And again, every single one senior except for our center, who's a junior, his deal breaker is playing time. We're good there. Our right guard is a junior. His deal breaker is playing time. And our right tackle is a senior. Currently, if you were keeping track, out of the 11 starters we have, everyone except for 2 were seniors. And the other 2, luckily enough, have a deal breaker that we can manage and keep them on the team for year 2. This entire offense is going to need an overhaul. And here's the thing. It looks the exact same on the defensive side. Starting left edge, senior. The right side, senior. Defensive tackle, both starters, seniors. Our Sam is a junior, but his deal breaker is pro potential. He's most likely gone. Our Mike is a senior. Our Will is a senior too, so woohoo. One corner is a senior, and luckily enough, our corners after them, Jordan Toney is a sophomore, but his deal breaker is championship contender. Again, if we can start winning some games this year, we might be able to steal some and continue to have him on the team for next year. And then Caleb Dawes, his deal breaker is a brand exposure, which I don't think we're going to get that. We're in the MAC. We're not changing the schedule up that much. Yes, we do get to go to Texas and Kentucky, so maybe that might be enough. We'll just have to wait and see. Our free safety, Ray Harris, is a sophomore. His deal breaker is playing time, so we're good there. And our starting strong safety, all 3 of them are all seniors. So, again, if you're keeping track, out of the 11 guys on defense, we're going to maybe be able to keep 1, which is our free safety. On offense, we're going to be able to keep 2. We're potentially looking at losing 19 players between this year and season 2. And frankly, it's going to be a huge task. It almost feels like anything less than a conference championship with this team is a letdown because of the seniority that we have on the team. And even if you look at the younger guys, I mean, Cameron Edge, his deal breaker is brand exposure. He's most likely gone. We have 2 freshman cornerbacks that could be decent next year, but pro potential, championship contender. Matthew Julie, championship contender and conference prestige. So we could be looking at a situation where we're going to be losing basically everybody. And it almost feels like we kind of might need to play a couple of these younger guys. Like right here, Christopher Thomas, he looks great. Deal breaker's playing time. He's 70 overall. He's a freshman. He's 10 overall off of our starter. But if you look at the speed to him, he's a little bit quicker, I would say, than our starter. The only difference is acceleration, where he's +1, and agility, where he's +2. We could probably look at the rest of the stuff. I mean, like ball carrier vision, it's a much different. That probably sets the difference. But I feel like as far as depth chart goes, Christopher Thomas is going to get some burn. He's from San Pedro, California. We need to keep him. At least potentially he could be our only starting. Potentially he could be the only player of this running back core that's still here in season 2. So we're definitely gonna have to look at that. Wide receivers, I don't know if we're really worried about that much. I mean, speedster, this is gonna be a huge task. But luckily enough, when I started this career as Coach Kaniak, I decided to pick recruiter. And let's go see who we've already identified as potential targets for next season. So here's the thing. You guys might have already seen, I already set up the board. I kind of went through already and just made a quick decision on who we're going to go after year 1. There's 14 targets on the table right now. And we're just going to go through real quick, and I just kind of want to show you what I'm looking at. Again, wide receiver wise, we're losing everyone. And frankly, I have a slew of wide receivers that either have us in the top 10 or top 8. Whoever can come to us, we basically need to go out and grab, because we could potentially be losing every single wide receiver on the roster, and we can't be rolling out next year having 2 wide receivers. So I put majority of our recruits in at wide receiver. Here's the thing. I'm very old school when it comes to coaching, and mentally I want to build the team from the trenches out. This year's a little different because we are losing basically every single wide receiver we have on the roster, and I don't know how the transfer portal is going to look at the end of the year. So I'm also going to look at offensive linemen. Kerry Harper, from California. He's a gem. Maybe we can get him. Who knows? Chad Spears, another 3-star, and Alex Byler, another 3-star. Hopefully we can get one of these guys or two. Again, as far as the guard goes, I have 3 guys on here right now. Once I advance to week 1, I'll see which ones I like and which ones we're going after. There's certain teams I know that we're not going to be able to keep Pete for him, and I have to keep that in mind. Center, Timmy, he looks the part. Hopefully we can be the best MAC team to recruit him. As you look at the rest of his teams, it's all MAC. And then defensively, I don't think we're going over anyone else except for this guy right here, Charlie McCoon from Virginia. We're number 1. He's a gem. I would love to be able to bring this guy into the team. His deal breaker is playing time, which I think we can give that to him. But overall, this is a solid recruiting class to go over, just because we're hitting on a couple of key parts. I mean, if you look at what we need a quarterback, we need running back. I mean, we need 8 wide receivers. I was able to find 6. We need basically an entire team, and I plan on recruiting at least 1 to 2 people per position. But right now, I want to focus mainly on wide receivers, tackles, and I found a gem of an outside linebacker. I can't turn that away, However, everyone, that is it for episode 0. Join me on the next episode as we go up against Texas State and we get into the season. I'm going to explain a little bit more on how I plan on doing the games throughout each episode to keep it a little bit more intriguing. But until then, guys, I'll see you next time.